Welcome to Live Action Star Wars. I'm Ralph.
I'm James.
And today we are discussing Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace from 1999. We're not doing it alone.
Oh, we are bringing
He's
back
back.
an old favorite.
I'm going to see if he's going to keep that pose while... No.
He's not. Already, he's not.
It's Patrick Cotnoir.
Hey!
There he is. From the George Lucas talk show, RAAAATSCRAPS, and
everything.
Our episode covering the Muppet Show.
Yeah, a long time ago.
I know. That was last year, probably.
Yeah,
you were our first guest.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And last.
Our show.
I'm going to end this show today.
Well, we're coming up on our year anniversary.
Wow.
Our year anniversary happens to be on May 25th, which is coming up soon.
Sure.
Star Wars Day.
I was going to say a day where nothing in particular happened.
No.
Right. Especially including the Obi-Wan Episode 1 premiere.
Yeah, that definitely is not
that
happening.
Got moved to the first day of celebration.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder what they're going to do.
Which I'm going to.
I will also be at.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. We can talk about Episode 1 on Friday and Episode 2 on Saturday, because that's what we're doing here, because I'm not going to have time to watch them both.
Sure.
We got folks in here. Fetz says, this is seriously what you're talking about right now? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lucha Johnny's here. Stevie's here. Mm-hmm. Typo.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I thought maybe Stevie was at work and just typing in the wrong chat or something.
God, George Lucas talk show. I definitely want to talk about Watto today. And to answer Fetz, he says, seriously, this is what we're going to talk about right now. Yes. This is going to be just a regular Wednesday episode. I heard that a trailer was dropped today for Obi-Wan.
I think just before we started. But just
I haven't seen it.
No, me neither.
And James hasn't seen it. So what we're going to do...
I'm living in a world where I have seen more Star Wars than these two. Feels good.
What a time to be alive.
Feels good.
Enjoy it for an hour or so, Patrick.
I don't know. Have you seen the cutscenes from Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight?
Yeah, right. That's fair. You're right.
So what we're going to do is, at the end of this episode, in fears of getting kicked off, we're all going to watch it live. Mm-hmm. And that way, if we get kicked off, it's the end of the show, and then that's it.
We could just edit that out and the video will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
we do also have another former guest of the show in the chat as well. Adam Frazier is here this morning. Welcome, Adam.
And former guest Rick DeMint.
Rick's here as well. Everyone. This is a family reunion.
Star Wars quote.
I don't understand that reference.
Does he say it? Does he say it in the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Spoilers.
They're saving it. That's
fine. But we are here to talk about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 1999. Okay, so you guys were kids when this came out.
I was 12 years old.
I was 7.
Yeah.
I had turned 12. So when you got it, I turned 12 about a month earlier. When I got it, I was like 3 months into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big deal. Like, so I grew up.
The beard was 21.
I grew up. I was born 3 months before Star Wars came out. I knew Star Wars my whole life, and then the Dark Times was like a huge chunk of my childhood, and it was just fucking nothing. So here's the deal: like, I was thinking about this movie a lot in 1999 and what I was up to then, and I remember this movie came out I believe on a Friday, and tickets went on sale the week before on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 10 days before, something like that. And I lived in Fullerton, California, Anaheim by Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. And
I was like, if we're going to do this, we got to see it at the Chinese theater.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. I've been waiting a serious long time for this to come out.
For as iconic as that theater is, like the Star Wars line, like from 77 is like the most famous shot, I feel.
I also like the phrase, if we're gonna do this. Like, there was a chance we were not gonna see it.
Oh, well, I mean, if we were gonna go like full on, like we were seeking out sit down Pizza Huts to get the cups.
Yeah.
We were going, we're going to Taco Bell to
Yeah.
get the toys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we were all in. So if this is how we were doing it, we're going to do it right. The problem in 1999, you couldn't buy tickets online. So the week before, we drove up to Hollywood, 3 of us, just to get tickets. And the whole conversation on the way there is they have a maximum of 10. You could buy a total of 10. Do we each want to buy 5, or we just get the maximum and try to get 27 friends to come along with us?
Mhm.
And we
Wow.
decided, fuck it, if we're gonna do this, we're getting the maximum tickets.
Mhm.
So
we
you had
got
an
30
entire
tickets.
section to yourselves, basically.
Mhm.
We had 30 tickets. Yeah, well, it's the Chinese theater. It's pretty fucking huge.
Yeah.
So like the whole week, you're just holding on to the tickets. We didn't have Twitter to show all my my
Sure.
tickets. I wasn't like influencer, like holding all my tickets or anything. But I would just, it was like next to my bed, like on my nightstand, just propped up so I could look at it every day when I woke up
Mhm.
for 10 days. And we ended up we're like, okay, if we're going to have 30 people come with us, we're not going to do the morning show. I'm not
Yeah.
going to make 30 people wait in line.
Yeah.
We're going to do the 10 p.m. show
Mhm.
so that people who are off of work in Orange County can drive up, have plenty of time. Listen, we fronted all these tickets. You're coming.
Sure. Sure.
So we showed up at like, I think 7 a.m. And what's great was there was one line. There's one line in the theater, and the person in front of me could have been at the noon showing, and the person behind me could have been at the 9 a.m. showing. Like the line would just filter through and slowly like work its way out.
Mhm.
And it was like this big moving thing where, okay, they're letting in the 2 p.m. people, and you would just pass that down the line and people would pass you by and just go. It was crazy. It was the most organized I've ever seen anything. And my whole thing was I'm staying in line the whole time.
Yeah.
They were playing Tron across the street at the El Capitan. I did not go see Tron. Some of the guys went to go see Ben from Darmalars, and a couple others went to go see Tron. And I was like sitting there, I'm like, man, they're going to see that hidden Mickey so giant in 70 millimeter. No, I'm here for Star Wars. This is Star Wars Day. It's May 19th. And it's Star Wars Day. But somewhere there's footage of me, because my friend documented this whole thing. There's footage of me coming out of the theater and saying, more like episode number 2.
Wow.
I did not like it.
So you were instantly like,
immediate.
Yeah.
Because a lot
Yeah,
of
I
those
was
theater
not.
reactions, if you go back and watch a lot of those theater reactions, people are like, it's the best, because they're still, listen, I want to be upfront. I like the movie a lot. I was the perfect age when it came out.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but I like the movie a good amount. But a lot of those theater reactions are very positive because you have that high of still seeing it, So it's
Absolutely.
interesting that right away
It's-
you
It
have
took
that.
it took I think probably a year or so for me for
Yeah.
that high to wear off of
Sure.
the movie.
I think it took
so
like
my
15 years for me.
yeah, I mean, I say a year, but I mean, I was still like, by that point, I was ready for episode 2, and
Yeah.
so that was sort of keeping me going. Like,
Yeah.
I was going, yeah, there's bits that I don't like, there's this and that,
Sure.
but in general, it's new Star Wars. Of course, I love it.
Yeah.
I love my favorite part was the trailers. Like we're all ready.
yeah.
We're all seated. The lights go down. We're ready to go. And just the booze for each trailer that came up.
Mhm.
And I remember
Remember
Fight
what they
Club.
were? Okay,
I remember
Club.
Fight Club was one of them.
Mhm.
Sure.
But just like boo.
I was gonna say, because like 99 is packed full of good movies. There's
Yeah.
plenty that could have been getting trailers in May.
It was the 20th Century Fox logo
Mhm.
and people going complete ape shit, and then
Yeah.
immediately dead silent.
Yeah.
With the galaxy far, far away
Good.
was insane.
I
And
mean,
then
that's
the
what you
cheers
want.
for
That's
Star
what that
Wars.
fanfare's for.
Yeah.
Surely, like that's perfect.
Oh man,
Have
I
you
know I
seen
miss it.
one of my favorite videos online is, I think it's before Force Awakens, after the fanfare. Have you seen this? And then people are like taking pictures, and just one guy shouts out, "Turn off your flash, you fucking moron!" Because like he's trying to take a picture of the screen. It's so funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
So you guys were kids.
My first viewing of this. So as I said, like the film came out in July in the UK. But the novelization came out at the same time, which was before the movie back in '99. So I'd read the
They didn't care.
novelization. I'd played like one of the video games I think was already out. I'd
You read the liner notes for the soundtrack.
I'd read the liner notes for the soundtrack. I'd seen everything. I knew the entire film going in. But my first viewing was at home. Like I watched a pirate copy of it in, I want to say, middle of June. A guy at school had a VHS, and at that point, that was the only time that I was able to sort of successfully throw around the weight of being the biggest Star Wars fan that anyone had ever met.
Yeah,
because they were like, "You can watch it. Like, here you go." We weren't even that close. We weren't even friends. But he was like,
funny.
"James, like,
You are now.
you deserve this, basically." Like, and I was like, "Thank you. I really do appreciate that." So I watched it at home. And I watched that tape a few times, and then I was like, "That's it. I'm good until the cinema." Like,
yeah.
And then in I think it was July 12th, somewhere around there.
Sure.
We got it and went to see it and loved it. I was already in, but I mean the theater stuff came out and they were doing like a lightsaber fight in front. Like it was intense. And then I think I saw
special features.
Yeah, I saw it like 5-6 times over that summer.
The special features of Rick McCallum in front of the theater with the lightsaber guys.
It was like that.
So
It was like that.
Now, you guys were kids. Did
Yeah.
you guys go to see Meet Joe Black or
No.
The Water Boy?
No, I didn't see either. I remember watching it in my grandparents' basement on their computer because I guess they had a better internet connection than we did or something like that.
That little QuickTime file?
Yes, absolutely. That's where I remember seeing it.
I see. I remember seeing the QuickTime file, but I saw the Waterboy in theaters, but I don't think the trailer was attached to it in the UK.
The problem was the Water Boy had been out for like 2 weeks already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they attached the trailer. I'm like, well, I already saw the Water Boy, so I guess I'll go see Meet Joe Black. I mean, we're gonna do this. We're all in.
If we're gonna do this,
if they're gonna make a Star Wars,
yeah.
That's what this was this culmination of us going to see Meet Joe Black. And the thing is, I don't know how this word got out, maybe hyperspace.net or whatever. Yeah. But you just found out these things that it was going to be playing in front of these two movies.
Yeah.
And we knew that it was going to be playing in front of the movie and then after the movie.
Sure.
This is great. We're getting some stories from our comment leavers about their first times, and I think it's worth bringing a few of these up because they're all around my age, which makes me feel great.
Guys,
so Mark was 13 when the movie first came out, and he loved every minute of it. It was his first new Star Wars movie in theater. Wow. First was seeing the special editions of Empire in '97. Okay, so Mark, you didn't even see Star Wars with the special editions.
There's some really great additions to that movie.
I remember seeing the special editions with my dad in '97, like opening weekend of each one, and having an amazing time with them. Even the stuff now that we look back on as rough.
I don't think I had seen them before the special editions. I think the special editions may have been my first. I can't remember seeing them before, so like in my head that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do math. How old were you in '97?
I'd have been 5.
Okay,
I mean,
sense.
possibly not.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would I have seen it before that?
I mean, I had, but my brother's 9 years older than me. My sister's 7 years older than me. They were alive and watching them in the 80s and stuff. So I was sort of introduced to them early. Like I was way younger than probably should have been. I don't know. It's Star Wars. They were rated U over here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I was oh, there you go. Look at that.
They're my originals.
Yeah, I don't remember watching them at home. I think it must have been special editions, but then I got the novelization before the movie came out. We got it at Barnes & Noble, and it came with a shirt. So it was like a large or an extra large, and it had like raised Darth Maul on the back. Like it was like you could like feel it. It was like rubbery kind of. And I don't know where this shirt is. It has to be in my house in Connecticut. Like it probably fits me now, but at the time it was like at my knees or whatever. And I remember wearing that.
Somewhere Star Wars Thrifting is salivating over trying to get hold of that shirt.
It's definitely in my closet in Connecticut.
It's got moth holes except for the Darth
I'm-
Maul was left behind because it's too
Maul-
puffy.
Moth holes.
Moth.
It's now not a shirt.
MAULTH?
It is just
Balf?
like
Balf?
it's just a Darth Maul somewhere in
Yes.
attic.
So I remember we sat in the back row, and that's truly all I remember from it. I remember, like, I have in my head, I can see us watching the opening scene with like the ship getting blown up in the hangar and all that. But that's pretty much all I remember. I just remember sitting in the back row wearing my Darth Maul shirt and freaking loving every gosh darn second of it, you know?
Really, really, really perfect age for it.
Yeah, it really was. I
I remember seeing The Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was 20. No, that was the special edition. No, I remember seeing it. My mom took me to see Empire Strikes Back, and the only thing I remember was Darth Vader getting his head cut off scared me.
Mhm.
But even more so was the Tauntaun getting cut open, like left an impression in my brain that just frightened me.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I
That's
shouldn't
because
be
you went to see it
seeing.
in smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
You also said, you just said Darth Vader getting his head cut off, and I was like, when did that happen? It's like, what? Were we watching different movies?
That wasn't in the special edition. They took
Yeah,
that
they
out,
cut
so
that
you
out.
might not have ever
Sure,
seen it.
Yeah. Here's a little secret. I don't know if I've ever seen the non-special editions.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Beyond
Maybe I'll
like
bring you a
some
flash
beyond,
drive.
beyond
Yeah.
some clips. Here's an illegal secret. I was gonna buy some despecialized stuff on eBay, but it seems like eBay has pulled every single copy of it off of there, so you can no longer buy them from eBay. So,
Hopefully that's a sign that maybe Lucasfilm is looking to have
want to
those-
do something
have their
with it.
version out
Maybe.
there.
Possibly.
We'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll
yeah, because they
see.
don't tend to pull down holiday specials, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Which they
Hopefully.
Yeah,
should
our
be.
video's
They
still
should
up.
be doing stuff with that.
They really should be.
Put
I mean,
that
they're,
on-
Well, that's
they're doing some stuff with it, but
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah.
what's great about the holiday special. Ours hasn't been pulled down.
It's
We
good
did
way
a
to
live
start
running
that.
commentary with Jay from the Lost Podcast and Geek Dad Life.
Yeah.
And the only thing that got flagged was the cartoon in the middle that's up on Disney Plus.
Sure.
So I took it down, trimmed out the cartoon, and threw it back up, and they're totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So
Not to exclusively talk about the holiday special during this. I just watched
Fine.
Walk movies on Disney Plus. I'd never seen them before, or in my memory had not seen them before. And I'm like, if this is up here, the holiday special should be up here.
Yeah.
'Cause
We
these-
did the same thing. I hadn't seen either of the Ewok movies until we covered them.
Yeah,
Ralph subjected everyone to them.
they're wild.
They are wild.
They're wild. All right, Adam,
maybe get in
talk to
touch
me.
with Adam.
Reach out, Adam.
Adam has the coolest mum.
Here's the
Can we just mention this real quick? Adam was 14. His mum let him skip school and drove him and a friend to the movie theater for the first screening on opening day.
Wow,
That's like top tier
that's
A
good.
plus mum.
That's good, Mom.
Yeah. There was one of my friends called in sick that day. He called out. He didn't go to work, and to go watch it with us and hang out in line. Like he was going to come after work, but he's like, "Oh no, I want to hang out in line all day." Got put on the news. Got interviewed. It's like put on the news, and he's
Busted.
like, "Oh, we'll see what happens."
Is he fine? Like he still has lasting repercussions from it. Was he fine then?
Yeah, nothing happened.
That's great. Good for him.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting. Yeah, it was weird. The whole thing surrounding that, it was newsworthy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at the time, like I felt like I had spent like 17 years of my life in this sort of confined space of being
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan. Like you may find someone else to talk to Star Wars about. There really wasn't any online
Sure.
to really talk to other people about. And so to see all these people show up for this movie, I was like, oh my God, these are the people that I need in my life. And there was news there and stuff. And I think it was episode 2 where they were still making fun of Star Wars fans.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of changed. I guess people make fun of Star Wars fans now for, the hate that's thrown around about stuff.
Probably
But,
a little bit more deserved now, I think.
But it was so, yeah. But I feel like at the time, like that was like being in that line for like 12 hours or whatever was like the best.
Sure.
The best.
I mean, yeah, for me, at 12 years old, being a massive Star Wars fan I'd never had any friends my own age to talk to Star Wars about. Like, no one gave a shit. I'd get met with blank stares at best and disgust at worst if they knew what it was. And like when Power Rangers was big, like they'd be like, "Oh, James, have you got new Power Rangers toys?" I'm like, "No, I don't." I never gave a shit about any of it because I was like, I was there I was going to toy fairs trying to find old Kenner Star Wars toys.
Sure.
And then like from 97 it started building, and then like in the build up to episode 1, it was like my time has come. Like I am here. Like this is what I've been waiting for forever. It was great.
Did you guys go to Toys R Us?
We didn't have a Toys R Us near us. We had KB Toys, which is where we got everything. I remember I got like gigantic cardboard boxes.
I got this at KB Toys.
There you go. I love KB Toys. But like for Christmas those years, it was just like boxes and boxes. Like it's insane to think back at how much stuff I had from those movies.
Yeah.
Especially the first one. The second one was less so, and then the third, I don't think I have any toys from the third movie. But that first one was just like it was wild.
Anything and everything. Yeah.
Anything and everything. Yeah.
I was the same.
We were all in.
Yeah.
So we went to
if we found out this. Yeah.
We found out the Toys R Us was going to open at midnight. And so we went there at 8 at night and stood outside of Toys R Us. And I was like, I want a lightsaber, I want a spaceship, and a pilot for the spaceship.
Riccolier.
So I got Qui-Gon. I got a Qui-Gon lightsaber.
It's great.
I got a Naboo starfighter, and I got a Rick Ollier, the main star of the movie.
Absolutely, hero.
Yeah, it was funny because like Ben got like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
and we literally went back to the house or to the apartment and like laid all our stuff out on the floor and was opening it. Like we're literally little kids. And I think there's probably also a picture of that somewhere. Yeah, I need to find this stuff. But like the sort of hype around this movie like was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. So we didn't have a Midnight Madness over here. Like obviously they were selling the toys, but the toys were something that we got a little bit later than you guys. I think that was just from like supply chain issues though. Because my now stepdad at the time, I mean, maybe. My now stepdad, who was just my mum's like relatively recent like boyfriend at the time in 99, was a pilot. So he was making trips to the States quite often. And he came back from a trip to New York and he had the first Darth Maul figure that came out. I'd picked up, or I can't remember. I might have picked it up. The preview Mace Windu.
I had the Stap in Battle Droid. Of course, I pre-ordered that.
I also had that. Yeah.
Yep. That was that one I had, and the preview Mace Windu I had.
Yeah.
But I got that from like Forbidden Planet, like specialist store that I ended up working at years later. So I had those, but like the first one on the card back was this Darth Maul that over here, I don't know how common it was over there, but over here, that toy was like love nor money. You couldn't find it for months.
I think that was one of the harder ones to find over here as well. Like once after that initial, I don't even
from
think
that
they
like first wave,
Friday, but
yeah. I think. But yeah, like so I had that one. That was my first one, and then after that, it was whenever he'd go, I'd just be sending him with a list. I'm like, I want these ones. Find them.
Okay, so I just remember something. When the doors opened, because there was a lot of us. When the doors opened to Toys R Us, everybody came flooding in looking for the Star Wars aisle, and they kind of had shopping carts set up to kind of guide us there. But there was an employee over the loudspeaker. Do not run. They are only toys. Repeatedly. Do not run. They are only toys. And I was like, she's right.
Yeah.
They are only toys.
But
I'm here for three things. Toys are awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have any of them. I think the only thing I have left from that is the Rick Ollier.
I might still. I sold all my old Kenner stuff, but I might still have some of my episode 1 stuff up. And
I gave a big box of Star Wars toys to a friend.
I think I gave a lot of it away.
I still have most of mine, but in high school, in one of our science classes, we had to make a what do you call it? Like
diorama,
no, like hanging from the ceiling, like
a mobile.
a mobile. We had to make mobiles. I don't know why, but I was like, I got so many Star Wars action figures. I'm just gonna make it out of those. So I
Awesome.
did. Apparently, one night there was like a leak in the ceiling. The ceiling broke and it fell onto the ground. And they said, "Well, we don't need these. Let's throw it away." And I'm so mad at them still to this day. And I like don't know why I didn't make a bigger deal about it, being like, "That's my stuff. You just
Yeah, you're throwing away
away.
my
Yeah.
property.
That's my stuff."
Yeah.
Do you think
so
they just took it him? Do you think they just pocketed him?
I
And
don't know. I mean, why? You know what I mean? Like 2010, like they wouldn't.
Yeah,
have,
they weren't. They weren't
they
worth it.
didn't
at the-
care.
you're in high school in 2010.
Yeah, I know.
That's
that
great.
Was, yeah,
That's
my bad, dude.
great.
Is it great? Is it?
Sure. I graduated in 1995.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Listen,
I was working. I was
Listen.
DJing in a bar in 2010.
Ralph. Listen, I'm sitting in high school. I'm listening to Dharma Lars on my little earbuds. I'm hanging out. You
Oh
know.
my god.
Anyways, yeah, I'm really mad at them. Bad high school. It's closed now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so fuck them. You win in the end.
Yeah, I win.
Yeah.
Take that and Rigo Fermi High School.
You should go to the remains, the rubble,
Dig through.
see if they're still in there.
See if my Darth Sidious action figures there. Yeah.
No. I had a Darth Sidious action figure, but he was known as the Emperor, and he was a mail away. I had a cereal box.
Mm-hmm. I like
Yeah.
the
His
Darth
legs were
Sidious.
one unit.
Yeah, that didn't fit in my snowspeeder. I fucking hated it.
I like the Darth Sidious for how his arms moved because you could like tuck his hands into each other because he had the long sleeves and they just moved like this, and I liked that.
Oh yeah.
Because of that plastic cloak that was over it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had like the sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I might not have any other figures, but I'm pretty sure I've still got all my old Comtech chips.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I
um,
still had mine.
I think I still have mine. I know I have the reader.
got all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know if I've got the reader. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think you can get like a lot, like all the chips on eBay for fairly reasonable.
cheap.
Yeah, I think that's
around,
probably
like, the
why I've still
30.
got them because I was just never gonna
Yeah.
be able to make any money off of
Yeah.
it.
I kind of want them though.
I mean, if you want
There's
them,
the
you can come and
blockade.
get them. If you want to clear some crap out of my loft, you're more than welcome to.
I blank
I'll take
check
that helmet.
Griffin Newman's show, who's on the George Lucas Talk Show with me. They did a live show where they did commentary over Revenge of the Sith. This is probably 8 years ago, and they bought a box of Comtech chips. They bought like 200
Amazing.
Comtech chips and just gave them out to everybody.
God, that's
Amazing.
It was a great gift.
There's a company that makes pins that they do the chips as enamel pins,
That's cool.
but they also have the reader that the chip can like magnetize to.
That's rad.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to send me a link to that.
yeah. They also
The
have.
reader-
They also
The reader
did.
was just
there's-
the oversized version of the Lady Bic razor, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys even want to talk about the movie?
I mean, we're half an hour in, maybe.
I just realized. So I make the backgrounds, just kind of how they work on the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't set this up, but I do like next to Patrick is just Jar Jar. That's really the
Right.
only thing you could see. The Queen's
Oh, he's right.
ship and then the Jar Jar.
Oh,
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that was on purpose.
No, complete accident.
The line is lined up nicely with the back of your sofa in the light. Like,
Yes.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
That's
I
nice.
think that's Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
Uh-huh.
Probably.
That's great.
Okay, can I just talk about Jar Jar real quick?
Absolutely. Let's
Watching it this time, zero complaints about Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero complaints about Jar Jar.
He's fine.
I love Jar
He's
Jar.
fine.
I've liked Jar Jar for a long time. I think I brought this up the last time Patrick was on, but I have
Yeah.
this signed on my
King.
best.
He's the
Misa
king.
best friend.
He's
Like
your
I
best
like
friend.
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
I've liked Jar Jar for a while. I never had a problem with Jar Jar. But now I have zero.
He
I have
rules.
100% on.
The only
it's-
problems that I have with Jar Jar aren't the Jar Jar stuff. It's like
Yeah.
the farting EOP and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. But that's not Jar Jar's fault. It's
My
not his
man, I
fault
can't
that EOP ate
I
something
can't
bad.
wait to watch the trailer. This Obi-Wan trailer. Does the OP fart? Don't say. Don't say.
it's the post they show Obi-Wan Kenobi coming to Disney Plus. You know, it like cuts to it. That's the noise when the thing goes on Disney Plus.
Right in Obi-Wan's face, and he
Yeah,
says
yeah,
hello
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a really weird tonal show.
My problem with Jar Jar, here we go, guys. Let's strap in.
Oh,
My
God
problem
damn
with
it.
Jar Jar is that
Hot take.
George chickened out and bailed on him. That's my
Yeah.
problem with Jar Jar.
Yeah.
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 I mean, everyone complains about the correcting and the listening to the fans too much when they went into
Yeah.
the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, George was kind of doing the same thing, and like
Yeah.
he wanted Jar Jar to be a bigger thing, and
Sure
did
did.
bail on him. And yeah, I agree with you.
Can we release the Jar Jar cut? Is there such a thing?
I mean,
And just
there
drop
is
him
definitely
in?
a Jar Jar cut of Attack of the Clones.
My George Lucas always says that when he was making Attack of the Clones, there was a subplot that he had to cut where Jar Jar got lost in a grocery store and was knocking everything over. And that was
I mean, I don't know if I prefer.
Films aren't finished; they're just released.
I don't.
George,
Yeah.
Bring
I
him
mean,
back.
Again, going like playing to type. The novelization of Attack of the Clones has all of the stuff with his Diplo dialect or whatever, where he's speaking normally, and then it's just like, yeah, no, I have to do this, and like him greeting Anakin and Obi-Wan was like him slipping back into his old way because he was just so excited to see his friends.
He's got to show up in a Disney Plus thing, right?
Obi-Wan. We've written
It's
the
gotta
same.
be Obi-Wan.
Here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be Obi-Wan. I think there's too much stuff already in Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Like, I think...
I don't know what you mean. What kind of stuff is in Obi-Wan? I can't wait to see.
Well, I don't want to say.
Yeah.
I think there is a lot of stuff in Obi-Wan, and I think if they tried, there would not be enough time for it.
Yeah.
But it just feels like someone has to be like chomping at the bit to be like, I can fix this.
I mean, I think Ahmed Best is also chomping at the bit.
Absolutely.
To like, let me back in.
Yeah.
I would love to see the aftermath of his like involvement with episode 2. Like,
sure.
Because I think it's like he's a dopey character.
Yeah.
And this is like
he also
a major
canonically
thing. Like,
Jar Jar canonically fucks if you watch Clone Wars. Like he has a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a bit more of a player than
they show it all on Clone Wars, Ralph.
It's just
you see every single part of it.
I've watched Clone Wars.
No, but I
remember.
You haven't seen that. You haven't seen that version.
This part, well.
Didn't they make his girlfriend like pink with like her ears tied in the
the ears are tied
eyelashes?
Back, yeah. But I mean, the ears being tied back like goes all the way back to Boss Nass. Boss Nass ties his ears back.
Let's talk about Boss Nass. The perfect segue.
Talk about Boss Nass.
Let's talk about Boss Nass.
Again, a very funny character, great character design, great action figure, and Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed comes back for the Lego game. He's in the Lego game.
That's so good.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag
blessed. It's funny. At the time, I'm like, I don't understand. Is he supposed to be one of those guys? And then you realize he's got the things tied in the back, and he's just a big old burly guy. He's the same as all the other Gungans. He just is a big guy.
But again, it's
like
species diversity. We get to see some species diversity. It's great. We get it with Twi'leks. We get it with Gungans, but that's about it, I think. Oh, we get it with Comorians now, I suppose.
Yeah.
The like sort of ripped ones.
Yeah.
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 I don't like him as much as the chubby
Boss
boy.
Nass.
The chunky ones.
Yeah.
As Boss Nass, no. No one likes anyone as much as Boss Nass.
Yeah, I love Brian Blessed. He was in Flash Gordon. He was in the Flash Gordon movie. He played the guy who looks like this.
How old do you guys think Brian Blessed is right now?
Without looking, I'm going to say
103.
87.
He's 85.
Ooh, that's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was 85 in Flash Gordon, which was like, what?
40,
he is one of those guys he's been that age forever.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Good guy. Crazy guy.
Go back to this.
Google him if you don't know any. Brian.
So here's the thing. For the last, I don't know, however long I've had an iPhone, my text tone has been "excuse me, excuse me."
Mm-hmm.
So anytime anybody texts me, it does that. It's great because when I'm in like at a public place, I know when it's my text tone that goes off. It's not a universal one that everyone uses and they're looking at their phone. The problem is when I watch the movie, when he says it in the movie, it no longer sounds like a line of dialogue. It just sounds like an audio clip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so I have a text tone specifically for when Stevie calls me or it's texts me, and it's the Wilhelm scream.
Sure.
And so it's the same thing. is the Wilhelm scream is just an audio clip. And so when it pops up in places, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
I mean, the Wilhelm scream has done that for me for years, but I love it for that reason.
Yeah.
I guess it's better than making Stevie's text tone P-U-S-A, you know?
or an EOP fart.
Yeah.
My sister, hers is how wooed. So that does it too.
Sure.
Because I had made multiple Jar Jar ones, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with all these.
Yeah.
So
you're cornering the market on Jar Jar ringtones.
Poor Ralph.
Listen, anytime someone texts me and a hair squeeze me, it makes me smile. It's
of course,
especially if people I know are around. It's a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it brings me joy. Every line in this one, this time I watched it last night, hit for me. And Stevie was questioning, what did he just say? And I said, he said Maxi Big the Force.
Yeah.
Like he's like ripping on the Force, like, oh fuck, who gives a shit about the Force?
Yeah.
So he says, oh yeah. Real sarcastic, like. And then the line, well, that smells stink a whiff. So I backed it up. We put on the captions and watched it again, and seeing it spelled out phonetically is fucking hilarious. And all the Jar Jar lines just hit so much better reading them, because I have a feeling that's what George hand wrote on his legal paper.
Yeah.
Stink a whiff.
Yeah.
And so why people don't use stink a whiff more is beyond me.
Bring it back.
I think it's such a good line.
Yeah. So until the other night when I watched it fully through again, the last couple of times that I've seen this movie have been on so he's now just a YouTube or Twitch streamer, I think. Bruce Green used to be with Funhouse. He's good friends with Rahul Cooley, and one of the other guys who used to work at Funhouse, or still does maybe. And they did a charity drunk stream where Bruce had the script in front of him, and the other two were trying to recite the entire movie back and forth from memory.
Yeah.
And anytime they missed a line, they had to do a shot. Yeah.
Yes.
They missed a line, they had to do a shot, or they could buy it, or they took a sip and then they could buy a line to take a shot. And so by the end of the movie, like after Coruscant, they are trashed. So all of the last Gungan stuff, they're just stumbling over so much. And so it
much like the Gungans.
Yeah. So it cuts back to Bruce like reading the script, and he's like reading it word for word, because they're putting on the inflection, they're doing they're performing it a little bit. But yeah, when Bruce is just reading the lines out, it's like, yeah, that smells stinker with. It's like, what is that? What does that mean? Like, it's brilliant.
I like when Jar Jar, and I want this stream to just continue like this, where we're just saying what we like that Jar Jar does. I like when he calls Captain Tarpul's daddy.
What cut of that?
He says, "Hey yo, daddy, Captain Tarpul's Misa back."
He does, yeah.
He does.
Is he his father?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I have a question.
I don't think it's ever.
I think it's like he's calling him a cool cat. He's like, "Hey yo, daddy yo."
Well, that makes it weird. That adds to the weird
that's what makes it weird. You're right.
Speaking of weird, on Coruscant, they get into the taxi.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar's talking about the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he say she's pretty hot?
No. I think question. I think he's saying that it's pretty hot. Like this place is cool.
I found a website,
but he was just talking about the Queen.
I found a website that just has lines from Jar Jar. Can I just read a couple of them just because it feels like it'll be fun?
Yeah, go for it.
If those droids attacking us, Padme's probably in trouble. Millions will be starving and dying without your help. Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Misa, your humble servant. Gungans no dying without a fight. Weesa warriors. Weesa got a grand army. That's why you know liking us, Misa thinks. Oh boy, I'm gonna be trained. Excuse me, but the most safest place would be Gunga City. Tis where I grew up. Tis a hidden city. Monsters out there leaking in here. Weesa sinking and no power. You should.
What you thinking Weesa gonna do?
You should follow me now, Okie Day. Misa warning yous. Gungans no liking outsiders. Don't expect a warm welcome. And then this is a good one too. I'm gonna stop on this one because there's 75 lines to read.
Oh, I'm
Better
in.
dead here
I'm all
than
in.
deader in the core. Ye gods, what a Misa saying?
That's
Okay.
what Misa saying.
Yeah.
The line about being excited about being trained after calling Captain Tupple's daddy is not anything that I want to see.
Oh boy.
Something. They can do something. They got to bring him back.
I mean, they're clearly cool with him. Like, it's a shame that Jedi Temple Challenge didn't get a second season. But
wait, here's the line: "The queen's a being grossly nice. Misa tinks pity hot."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, someone needs to tell him that she's only 16 or however old, but you know.
Yeah, we were trying to figure it out.
He's been spending too much time with Chancellor Valorum.
Yeah.
We were thinking, we looked it up and we think when this was shot, Natalie Portman was 15 or 16.
15, 16. Because I remember her
Yeah.
saying, like, because they were in London and everything.
Yeah.
I remember an interview where she was like, yeah, I didn't really have a good time because I was 16 years old and, like, no one else was my age in the movie.
Jar Jar was.
And Terrence Stamp had a big crush on her and they had to keep him away from her.
Which, you know, is probably
Really?
for the best.
Yikes.
That's why he signed on to do the movie.
Kneel before Zod, I guess.
Regulators.
I thought something was interesting.
Allegedly.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks. One of the things I noticed is when Anakin first shows up on Coruscant, they do a lot of POV shots of him, which I found interesting. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a good call because this kid is way out of his element and he's listening to this. It's showing him listening to this like convoluted plot between these old men. And it's kind of fun to see them use that as the sort of, okay, kids, we're going to show you the kids so you don't have to really pay attention to this boring stuff. And it kind of makes sense from Anakin's point of view. Also, the fact that like Anakin gets told he's not going to be trained in front of him.
Crazy.
Like they tell Qui-Gon that in front of him. So he's already, what George Lucas is doing, and I'm going to say is genius, already setting up the fact that he's being rejected by the Jedi.
By Mace Windu, specifically. The same one who's like, no, fuck you can't be on the council. Like, the antagonism between the two of them is there from the start. Like, it's no wonder he wanted to like side with Palpatine over Mace Windu. You put another Jedi in that position, in that window, holding a lightsaber to Palpatine, and I think Anakin makes another choice.
You're saying if Yariel Poof's in there.
Well, no, Yariel Poof is a canonical warmonger.
Okay. You're saying if who's the guy with the snake tail?
That's Tin. He's up there as well.
With who?
Say Tin. Oh no,
no,
not
with the big beard and the little beak and the
Oppo Rancisis.
Oppo Rancisis. You're saying if Oppo Rancisis is in there? And
those two are both in the High Republic, and they are all in for war. They are not good people. Yeah. My opinion on those two have changed. If it's Adi Gallia, he makes a different choice.
She cute. I get it.
Yeah.
Pretty hot. Okie day.
I paused it on the council scene when I watched it the other night. I paused it and I was like, can I still name all 12 of them? And I could do it. I could do it.
I can't.
Here's a question. How do we feel about A, Puppet Yoda, B, non-new Yoda?
Oh,
I really like, and I think it's done well, the newer digital Yoda.
I do too.
Well, I can tell you
Yoda
this.
was bad.
Watching the Puppet Yoda didn't look right.
Yeah.
Because I watched the trailer and posted it the other day for this episode. And I was like, oh yeah, Puppet Yoda did look weird.
It was wonky.
But what I like about the digital Yoda in this one is they mimicked Frank Oz's movements.
Sure.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
You can really tell the way they animated, especially in the walking scene at the end with Obi-Wan and his face, the way he's animated, the way his eyes open at certain times. You can tell that they based it off of Frank Oz, and it's a shame. I know they were like all about digital Yoda in the second one. I feel like it would have been nice to have a Frank Oz plate.
A performance capture.
You do you motion capture their puppet.
Because if you watch the episode 2 documentary Pixels,
from Puppets to Pixels,
from puppet to pixels.
It's great.
They're trying to get that line. Rob Coleman's trying to figure out the line begun the Clone Wars has.
Yeah.
And you just watch them struggling and struggling. And you know, if they just had Frank Oz come in and do it for the animators, it would have been a completely different story. But
it is odd how they can't seem to make a puppet Yoda look like the old puppet Yoda again. Like even the Last Jedi puppet is not.
He was too squishy in the face.
He's too squishy.
He looked like a podling from Dark Crystal.
He looks like Chevy Chase today.
Just sober.
Yeah, it's weird that they just can't. There's something, I don't know what it is that's missing, but I don't know. It's just interesting that they can seem to pull almost anything else off.
I thought it looked good in the Last Jedi, but it doesn't look exactly right. There's still something. Yeah.
Head size.
But anything, I think it's funny seeing digital Yoda next to like puppet Yaddle, and it's just like that. These two things don't belong to the same species. There we go.
Hey,
we could talk about this a little bit later.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about Anakin. The other thing that people have and had problems with mostly in this film. Jake Lloyd, Anakin. Opinions.
Boy, what a turd. No. There's certain things where I'm like, okay, these are George just doing minimal takes and this is the best thing he has. But I was telling Stevie last night, like, everything as soon as he gets to Coruscant, everything from Coruscant on, I really like, especially him piloting the Naboo starfighter. I think feels really natural. He feels like he's having a good time. It just all that stuff feels right. There's something about, Mom, you said the only problem is like that kind of stuff where he has to like really like be sad or emote. I feel like it's a child acting like he's supposed to be acting.
But I don't necessarily put that on him.
No.
On like take a few more takes, or also like I like Jake Lloyd in this movie. I like Jake Lloyd in Jingle All the Way. I think it's like a very specific style of acting, and it's his style of acting, and it's like that's not what you were looking for. You know, there were other boys. You should have gone with another boy. But I think he's he's a kid in it. He's a kid, and like if you want to have a kid in your movies, it's so rare that you get like a kid who freaking knocks it out of the park. Like
not carry like a lot of the movie.
Yeah, not every child actor can be Haley Joel Osment. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare that those kids come along. But I think I'm also so used to him at this point that it's like I'm like, well, that's Anakin.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with me is, so I watched it last night and loved it front to back.
Yeah.
And found new things that were awesome. And I just,
happy.
It changed. It's completely different from 1999 Ralph.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And being able to see this whole prequel trilogy as a whole and seeing the stuff that's been planted in this, absolutely love it. And I was totally fine with Jake Lloyd. I was like, I like this kid.
Totally.
And I'm wondering if it's one of those things where I have seen it so many times where I accept it. And I'm wondering if that's kind of where George was in 99. Like he had seen this footage so much. He was like, yeah, it's good. He had to watch it like hundreds of times to sort of be on board with it. Maybe an outside person probably could have come in and watched it for the first time and been like, well, this could probably be tweaked or something. But
I think it's just so sad knowing the circumstances surrounding it.
I think that's where I've taken a turn on some of the things that I would have been more critical on before, seeing just how bad it all kind of went for him because of that.
Yeah.
And because of people's opinions of that made me go, oh, fuck's sake, no one deserves that. Like, it's
the other thing. He's a kid and he's having fun, and who cares? It's a movie about space wizards. Like, who cares? You know, like,
do not run. They are only toys.
Yes, that's exactly that.
That's such a good metaphor for this movie in general.
Yeah.
Like, just relax. It's fine. It's fine.
For me, got a new Star Wars. Get over it.
Yeah.
So around this time,
let me John, you go.
Around this time, I started getting into Flash Gordon, the old serials, and got them on DVD and then watched them and loved them, and I've watched them several times since. And watching this time around, it really feels like a throwback to Flash Gordon, and I appreciate that. It's from the view screen, Queen Amidala with the flute sound. That's straight out of Flash Gordon. Terrence Stamp's acting is straight out of Flash Gordon. Like a lot of this stuff, even the sound effects. So when the Naboo starfighter down here lands, it makes this booming, crackly sound. That's the sound of the ships in Flash Gordon. That's the sound they make.
Yeah.
And so just seeing George being able to finally actually make Flash Gordon,
he wanted to
and
make.
he put Brian Blessed in it.
Yeah. That must have been such a
Blessed.
thrill for him.
Yeah. So it was so for me, like watching it this time around and just being like, this is a Flash Gordon. This is straight up Flash Gordon. If you think the acting's not up to snuff, that's fine, because Buster Crabbe wasn't like the greatest actor ever. He was an Olympic swimmer who got put in as the main character of an action movie. So I think with me, it took, maybe about 20 years, but all is forgiven. And I love this movie. I love it.
So you've been mentioning the scene where he's sort of talking to his mom about, the biggest problem we have in this galaxy is that I thought he was great in that dinner scene. Like, I think that that's some of his best acting, because he is emoting, but he's emoting in the way that a kid would, where he's not going to have like a deep thing. He's still going to be just basically repeating back things that he's heard his mum say to him. But he's also, he's discovering, like when he sort of calls Qui-Gon out, he's like, "You're a Jedi Knight, aren't you?" And I thought he was really, really good in that scene. There are times where he's not brilliant. There's one, but I think again, it's not a lot of him. It's do another take of it would have been great. And then there's some weird editing. I noticed one when it's him and Padme and he's showing her 3PO, and there's a cut that I'd never noticed before. I think it's like let me show you my pod racer. I'm building a pod racer. And it's like it's clunky dialogue, but I think it's a cut because 3PO like crosses the screen. Yeah, and I'm just like, there is a hidden edit in there. That's the whole reason that 3PO that wasn't there crosses that scene. And it's like, you've probably an extended version of that scene. Sure. Where it's been differently ordered, and it's like you just decided to shuffle it.
I think that dinner scene is good too, because it's one of the few scenes in the movie where it's a fully practical set and there's multiple actors together looking at each other in the face and talking to each other, instead of like people being copy and pasted into, CG sets and whatever. Yeah. So I think that probably helps all of them a lot.
There is a moment that I found weird. Obi-Wan, this is Anakin Skywalker, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Anakin says, "You're a Jedi too." And then they laugh. And I'm like, why would they laugh? And then I thought about the line again, and I'm like, does Anakin already consider himself a Jedi? And he's saying, "Oh, you're a Jedi too, like me?" Yeah. And I was like, maybe that's the joke. And if that's the joke, I love it, because already Anakin thinks he's a Jedi, even though he's not. Yeah. And that's that lays into the whole groundwork for the thing. Because it's really weird that they cut to Qui-Gon laughing. Him saying, "You're a Jedi too."
I thought his laugh was more of a exhaustion. I've just been in this fight. We've just faced this dude with a red lightsaber, and this kid is just still full of beans. Like, he's still so precocious, and like he's so happy to be here despite everything that just happened. Like, we almost died just then, and he can have this joy about him. And he's like, this kid like is. I read it like that, and then Obi-Wan's just like, okay, here we go again, another one.
Anakin's line should have been, "I wonder if he means old Ben Kenobi."
I wonder if I can't. I'm not going to do it. It's one of my favorite things on the George Lucas talk show. The Connor does. Lines. It's so good, and he just keeps.
Yeah, it just turns into Jiminy Glick a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
but his staring off into space, like,
Yeah,
that dude's good.
very funny.
Can I tell you something? I mean, no. We'll talk about it in a little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Teaser.
Teaser.
It's
Stick
yeah.
around, folks.
It has nothing to do with Star Wars. It has nothing to do with your show. It has mostly to do with Connor's show.
Okay.
But
I mean, I consider my show Connor's show, so Connor's got a lot of shows.
Mostly Dead Eyes.
Sure.
Which, this isn't your plug, but
Nope.
everybody go watch or listen to Dead Eyes.
Yeah.
I've been listening to podcasts since 2005 for a really, really, really long time. I've never cried during a podcast before.
Yeah.
And Dead Eyes made me cry on 2 different episodes.
Yeah.
There's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
The season finale of season 3, obviously.
Yeah.
With Tom Hanks. But there's one where they track down the character that Connor was supposed to play in Band of Brothers before he got fired. And that episode
track down the real man.
The real man that he was supposed to portray. And it was I sitting in my car bawling my eyes out. Anyway, listen to Dead Eyes.
Anyways, Rats Tyrell is maybe
the real tragic.
Yes. Tyrell
who's your guys' favorite pod racer?
Again, I'm thinking back. I had
Anakin
almost
Skywalker.
Oh, boo.
Boo this man.
To be honest,
yeah.
I think he's the coolest design, and I think his pod racer is the coolest design, and it's Sebulba. It's a shitty answer, but I mean,
I can't hear
cool
it.
looking.
I can't hear the word Sebulba now without thinking of Star Wars Minute and the Sebulba cool that is always done that. I think Pete does on that. It's great. And I mean, I hear it a couple of times in the crowd and stuff whenever they cut.
I like Team Topagales.
I've always liked the name.
Yeah.
It's a good name. I like Ben Quadraneros. I think he's
also,
great
insane.
Design. It's a great design.
The design is
and the
crazy.
fact that he doesn't get going and he explodes. And the best thing about it is he's sitting there at the starting line along with Anakin. How pathetic is that?
Yeah.
Just gosh.
It's like he has that whole lap as well, that whole first lap where he's trying to get his engines going. And then he only blows up just as about like Sebulba's coming through to start his second lap. It's like he had no hope. He should have just got out and just had his pit droids drag him off to the side or something. Who is it who goes out in the spindly arm, like skinny spindly arms?
Oh, that's
Gasgano.
No,
Gasgano.
Is it Gasgano or is it Odie? No, Odie Mandrell's the blue one.
Odie Mandrell's blue one, yeah.
Odie Mandrell's the one with the family, right?
No, that's Rats Tyrell.
That's Rats Tyrell.
Yeah.
Rats Tyrell.
Yeah, I think Gasgano is up there for me. I just remember the toy.
I didn't like the toy though. It was too breaky.
Yeah,
everything.
That's what I'm remembering about it. Like all the arms came off and then you couldn't stand them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great toys though.
And he probably didn't come with a pod racer
I don't think so.
Again.
If I remember rightly, he's pretty good in the video game though. In Episode 1 Racer.
Mm-hmm. A lot of video games for this movie.
So many video games. Like
I love the Episode 1 actual game.
The third person sort of semi top down. Yeah.
I was a big Jedi Power Battles boy.
Loved those two.
I'll say this. I recently did a podcast. I think it was You're Missing Out, where we talked about Jedi Power Battles.
Great game.
It was a great game in 1999.
Oh, does it not hold up?
No.
I think it's a little tough now. It's a little tough. Some of the controls are a little wonky, and there's still parts of it I like, but it was harder than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed some of the RTS real time strategy games that came out around this time as well. I was a big fan of those. And there was one I was just thinking of. Star Wars Starfighter, where you played as the Naboo Starfighter
Yeah.
and you got like
Oh.
some of the story, but then also like other bits.
I love those new starfighters so much.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Yesterday, while watching the movie, I declared that it was my third favorite Star Wars ship.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say movie.
It's,
Oh no, it definitely rose in my ranks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
but
I love
yeah,
Galactic Battlegrounds. Did you guys play Galactic Battlegrounds?
it's a great game. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
think
fun
so.
one.
yeah.
Um,
There's
Pod
tons.
Racer, obvious.
Bombad Racing.
I don't think I ever played Bombard Racing, but I remember seeing it.
I think they all have big
But
heads.
this was
Yeah.
also around the time when like Encarta on like
Hmm.
CD-ROMs was still a thing. And I remember
Mhm.
getting an episode 1 in whatever disc.
Yeah.
And just going through it and trawling through it. It was like the pre-Wikipedia, basically. It was
Yeah.
just-
You
it
guys
was
didn't
great.
have the 5 3.5-inch floppy disk for X-Wing? God,
No.
I played
so
X-Wing
old.
at a friend's house.
So
No.
old.
I played, I never had it, but I played X-Wing at a friend's house who they had a
Yeah.
PC and it was all exciting.
Listen.
Wasn't Bombad Racing?
Bombad Racing is a car racing, but he's saying new, and I agree. I want an Unkar
Yeah.
Plut in a go kart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's make it happen.
that's it.
Rick
just want-
Ollier in a
I want-
starfighter.
Yeah. Rick was in a. I was gonna say this earlier. He was in a Broadway show pre-pandemic, and I was so close to going just for him. I was like truly so
Ralph Brown?
close. Huh?
Ralph
was
Brown,
him-
I think.
It was him and Genevieve O'Reilly who plays Mon Mothma.
Oh wow,
They were in a show.
that's
together.
awesome.
Yeah.
So you could have gone in full like Naboo
Oh my
Starfighter
God.
gear.
Mhm.
Those like dusters that they wear are badass. They
Yeah.
look amazing.
Yeah.
There's I think you were just saying that you were watching a deleted scene.
Yes.
And there's the deleted scene when Anakin sort of lands back in.
Yeah.
And they're all sort of stood around, all the
Yeah.
pilots. And they're just like, well, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then that's when Anakin lands. But you see them like just stood there hanging out in their dusters, and they look so cool.
I mean, the costumes in those 3 are really great. They're it's wild. I think
Trisha
it's funny.
Bigger, I believe. is The
Trisha
costume
Bigger,
design.
yeah. And you can buy the book that she wrote.
I mean, if you can find it.
if you
'cause
can
that-
find it
yeah.
or want to spend over $800 at this point, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But I think it's not a helpful way to make a movie, but the fact that they didn't know who would be in the background, who would be in the foreground, who were main characters, who were extras, basically. So they just made every costume very
Everyone
good.
looked great. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I just saw your.
I mean,
It's pretty accurate.
it's pretty
It's the-
close.
It's the mouth. It's the mouth
Yeah.
and chin is
Yeah.
1 for 1.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's just not the ears. It's everything.
Yeah. Even the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the hair is like
Yeah, the hairline's perfect.
yeah.
Yeah, just put some ears.
Even the way
on.
the
Wow.
Yeah.
coat lands in the neck
Yeah.
comes over.
Yes.
Rick had to step away for a minute and missed our discussion of Rats
Yeah.
Tyrell.
We talked about rats. We talked about his wife. We talked about how his wife just got out of the hospital. She had some kids. We talked about it all.
And then he tragically flies into a stalactite.
He probably made it,
Okay.
but that's only to set up the fact that he's gonna die. George Lucas only put that in
I
there.
know, and it's
It's
great.
So dark.
It's
It's
great.
dead meat. It's dead meat from Hot Shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else happens in this movie?
So much.
I know a lot of stuff.
So dense. Like I noticed something new this time when they come in from the sandstorm on Tatooine and they're walking in. If you look on the right hand side of the frame, there's a bowl, and it looks there's a toy like grasshopper. There's like 2
Okay.
like chicken legs sticking out, and it's
Huh.
got 2 like wings. It might be a toy Darien. So I don't know, but it's but there's something there. And that's what the one thing that Rick McCullough got right was that yes, George does pack the frame with so much.
Yeah.
It's so
Fills
dense.
it. Fills it constantly.
Now,
Which
what
I
is-
don't know if is a plus,
Yeah.
but for subsequent viewings, it's great.
Now that I have a big question. This is a big question. How would you guys feel if they said, we're doing a special edition, we're not changing anything, we're not adding anything, we're just redoing some of the CG.
Updating some of it.
Updating it, making it look a little bit better.
I'm here
What's
for
the-
it.
Yeah, I'd be all
George-
for it. I
George,
think
not involved.
no.
George says no. Don't do it. I don't want you to do it.
Ooh.
What would you update? Because I thought Jar Jar looked pretty
It's a
good.
weird take from George. After everything, that's
No, I
such a
don't- I don't think
weird
it's
line
awesome.
in the sense of George. That's the
No,
one
don't-
movie I got
never mind.
perfect.
I think you could update Jar Jar to make him look slightly better. He still looks pretty good, but like
Yeah.
I think there's some.
this is
some
what 5
positing
years
and-
after Toy Story or something.
which is bonkers because Toy
Yeah.
Story looks
Yeah.
like
It looks like garbage. Go
Garbage.
back, it looks like
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah.
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 I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with updating the CG. Like it's 3 years now.
Someone just made the Battle of Naboo in Unreal Engine, and it
Oh, wow.
looks amazing. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. You know what?
You know?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is the valley that
Yeah.
they have the ground battle in does look
Which is funny
very-
because most of it is like plates that they shot.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
it's Northern California, which
I
is
think the problem is they probably shot it on like a perfect day, and perfect days don't
For
happen
sure.
a lot.
for sure.
It's like episode 3.
and
Was
the-
that-
Episode 3 they
digital
shot
camera.
like
and a digital camera that's like 120p. Like that's why they
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
you know?
I would like to see them fix up those digital the pickup shots.
Sure.
Fix Obi-Wan's wig, his
Put
reshoot
Samuel L.
wig.
Jackson there as opposed to
Yeah.
just the random stand-in.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it. I want to say like Wikipedia like has an entry for that guy, and they just say
Oh,
he's
they've
a
named
different
him.
guy. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's so clear.
Yeah.
Like,
The,
it's
you
not
mentioning
Samuel
you
Jackson.
mentioning Obi-Wan's wigs, and wow, did they stand out to me this
Yeah.
time round watching it? Like
Yeah.
it's like wildly different from like in.
I
in
want to
one
say those are
scene, like,
shot on
to
digital
shot.
too.
But that happens in
Okay.
the later movies
Yeah.
too. Like when they're in the elevator ride in 2,
His hair just length.
his hair
changes.
just completely changes length the whole time. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, in this, it just looks like it changes color, it changes size.
But
it
if you can
changes
if you
textures.
can
Yeah.
create a 1983 Mark Hamill face, then let's just do it.
Sure.
That's the kind of stuff I'd like to see fixed. Also, like in
Yeah.
the opening scene when they first ignite their lightsabers, Qui-Gon's
Yeah.
doesn't look right. It's like all green instead of white down the center.
Okay.
Are you thinking about special edition not fixing Luke's lightsaber?
No, I have something new. This is a big thing that we have not talked
Oh.
about. Remember in the beginning when they're in the droid ship and then they go out and they kill all the droids and then they run so fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd they do that?
Why did they do that? I hate it.
Stevie saw that for the first time this viewing.
I
It's like,
did not see it for a
you
long
fantastic.
time, or like did not like internalize it for a long time.
But here's the thing, like
I
it's-
always sort of
in
didn't-
Empire.
Go on, go on,
Empire
go on.
Luke does a super quick jump. When
Sure.
Luke jumps up from the
Yeah.
the thing. But my thing is you're just fighting some droids.
Yeah.
You're choosing that time to do your fast run.
And then never again.
I hate it.
Especially when you have to run through this hallway to get to Darth Maul and stop
Yeah.
getting blocked by the red things.
Yeah.
So
It's a power that should be explored.
It's not good. I don't like it at all. I sort of first few times that I watched it, I just sort of chalked it up as they got out of the way and then the thing exploded. It was almost like just a weird glitch on the screen
Yeah.
that they were there. And it was only when like my brother pointed it out. He was like, "So Jedi run really fast."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, they don't. What are you on about?" And it was like, "No, look." And then we watched it again and again and again, just that one little
Yeah.
thing. And I was like,
This-
"Yeah,
I
but that
mean,
is a choice. That is a choice that they did." And it's like,
Yeah.
But
doesn't
running
feel like-
fast, a character that can run that fast has already been established in the Star Wars universe,
Teak.
and that's Teak. So, like, let's bring this into the fold. Let's do this. I want to see this in Kenobi.
I would love it if they made those Ewok movies canon. Like if they just came out and said it, it would change almost nothing. Except for
No.
I mean, it would change a lot. That's not true. I lied. The
No.
Ewoks speak English. It would change so much. But
Wicket, who's been living there for a couple years, has a sort of basic
But-
knowledge of speaking.
but those movies
basic.
take place
It's not
before
English.
Return of the
It's not
Jedi.
English.
yeah.
But they take place before Return of the Jedi.
Who says?
I mean, I think they say, don't they? Doesn't Lucasfilm say that?
I don't know.
They've flip-flopped. They've changed. Like, I think originally they were saying that it was taking place like hundreds of years later in Legends. Like, Sindel goes off to become a reporter.
If Lucasfilm
in
said
the
these
New
take place
Republic,
after, then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's all they have to do.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. Wow.
But
I don't.
Anyways,
just
they're
they,
running as
they
wild.
can exist after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
I think-
it's now
I think
not
I'll-
as they're not as afraid of people now.
Well, there's a couple things that just like don't compute when you
Yeah.
think about it like that.
Yeah.
They don't try to eat
They-
any of them.
Right. Well,
Well,
in the second one, they're gonna have a feast for sure.
yeah,
Because the
Okay,
whole family
sure.
gets wiped out in the first 2 minutes.
Sure.
but they
But
just
they're
Bunch
not
of
run off.
massively. Yeah.
No, yeah. They were like, well, I mean, waste not, want not. We've got a dead body. We may as well eat it.
Oh man, you know they feasted on Mace. I mean, why wouldn't you?
No.
Shall we talk about the Duel of the Fates and Darth Maul in general?
What do we
yeah.
gotta say?
I don't have
cracks me
anything interesting.
We did a whole episode on the Duel of the Fates music video that
Mhm.
appeared on TRL.
Yeah.
And it's funny that because of that, to this day, everybody still knows the name of that
track.
Yeah.
that cue. Like Duel of the Fates. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that is such an iconic Star Wars thing that I did not care for when it first came out because it
Really?
didn't sound like Star Wars to me. No,
Sure.
it was so much chorus and
Sure.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, I think we've covered everything from the fight, but I'm just thinking about what else is happening at that time. We talked a little bit about the Naboo starfighters. Any thoughts or interesting things about Captain Panaka? Like, and why they didn't bring Panaka back and went with like
Well,
Typho and stuff?
didn't he not like it?
I think he didn't want to. I think
Yeah. I think he
I
was,
think he was an actual actor like before this. Like he
Well, he
pops
was-
up and stuff.
he's
and-
like a theater
certainly
guy.
not after.
He's an English theater guy, lives in London, and then they shot everything in Australia. So like it probably was just
Oh, yeah.
They went like because you think about everyone else that they had was all like Aussies and Kiwis and stuff.
Yeah,
So, like
yeah. There's a
I
lot
think-
there's a lot of recasting between
like
those
he's
two,
quite
yeah.
a major character though. He's in it a lot. I like the character and I like how much he is into Palpatine as like
Yeah.
the senator. And like he's definitely like Palpatine's guy.
Yeah.
I think during the time of the Empire, like he was probably has done quite well for himself.
I like his soundbite in Galactic Battlegrounds, which is when you put him onto the field, he goes, "I'll give him a Panaka blast."
What?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
It's good. There are lines
That
of
should be a
dialogue.
drink at Galaxy's Edge.
A Panaka blast.
blast.
Yeah, it's a
I
shot.
would drink that.
It's
Would you
a
drink
shot.
that? I would drink that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I
Kind
googled.
of
I
pretty
just
good,
googled
kind of
this.
bland.
I just googled this. I cannot find this anywhere.
Did you misremember it?
I don't think so.
It's just something that you said whenever you put Panaka in.
Yeah.
Oh no, here it is. I found it. Great.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that. I don't know.
Amazing. There are lines of dialogue from the film that I remember specifically because of the contact chips,
Yeah.
which weren't the actors. They were all like overdubs and like new performances. So like there's different deliveries of some of those lines. I'm like, hang on, that's not what that sounds like. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, just remember the contact chip more than the movie.
I do like this.
Do you want to
I-
share? Okay.
I did
Okay.
just share my screen. If you could bring it up really quick.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Under personality and traits, I'll give them a Panaka.
It should be clickable.
Yeah, I
should be
know.
able to hear that.
Well, let's see what the. Hang on. What is the
Where's the source?
13
Oh, man.
Galactic Battlegrounds, baby?
Nailed it.
Look at that.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
We
guy.
need to have more guests on that can feed that know StreamYard.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
Not
I
to
love
keep
it.
invoking Connor, but Connor Ratliff's theory with Captain Panaka is that he thinks he should be he likes characters in Star Wars who don't want to be there, like the Han Solo, where he's like, I gotta get out of here, I don't want to do this, and he
Yeah.
thinks Captain Panaka should have been that sort of funny character. His theory is that it should have been 1999 Vince Vaughn.
That works.
It's like an
Yeah.
interesting, just being
Yeah,
like, no,
like-
I don't want to do this. Get me out of here. I'll
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
fight
yeah.
on my own. I don't want to be a part of this. You know.
Like I'm sort of picturing Vince Vaughn in Lost World sort of
Yeah,
type.
that's exactly.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
competent. He can do the
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
But he just doesn't really want to. He's like, why
Yeah.
are we here? Why are we doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good.
Because Panaka's sort of like a nothing character, a little bit. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, and especially the
He's-
fact that he doesn't come back.
Yeah, the fact that he doesn't come back, I think, makes him more of a nothing
Yeah,
character. Like
yeah.
if he'd continued to serve, like, and was just Padme's like main
Which is wild. 'Cause
bodyguard.
Typho is in 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Typho's in 3
Yeah,
too.
very brief in 3, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great character.
But I think of Panaka as being more prevalent than Typho, even though Typho's technically in.
I think he
More
just had a
movies.
lot more to do in that
Stevie's-
one movie than Typho did in 2.
Have you guys played
Stevie's
the Lego
playing-
game?
Yeah, Stevie's
Not
playing
yet.
Lego Star Wars, and she's like, "Who's this guy?" And I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it's Typho."
I'm not. I mean, this is the slightest spoiler in the world. They got the guy to come back to play
Jay
Typho.
Lagaya.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But he goes in the game. He goes with Yoda to fight Emperor Palpatine,
Yes,
That's amazing.
it's really bizarre.
and it's Yoda and Captain Typho jumping around the Senate seats to go and get Palpatine.
Like, who could have it been? Who could they have
Bail
put in
Organa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Bail.
make
And then they
sense,
just
but,
helps
like,
him escape.
that
Yeah,
makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely Bail Organa.
but they had the actor.
They had Jay Lagaya, so
So
they
they
were
were
like,
like,
let's do
yes.
it. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
gotta do something.
So I've got a fondness for Jay Lagaya because when I went to Celebration 3 in 2005, he was hosting.
Oh,
And
sure.
so he was on like the main stage and he was introducing everyone. He was
Yeah.
super friendly. Ralph's got his badges. And he just seemed like a really good dude who was happy to be there and enjoyed being a part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Which I think coming off of the guy that played Panaka, like, that's probably what they wanted, was someone who just
I
wants
think
to
he
do it.
has come around on it though, and I don't
Okay.
know if that's because he is
Like Dennis
discovered-
Lawson.
Well, yes, and I think they both discovered conventions are a great source of income,
Yep.
and let's go to these things, and oh wow, interesting, people like this.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's. I could also see that movie coming out and it gets slaughtered by critics, and you're like, well, I'm not going to come back.
Yeah, I don't want to associate myself with
Yeah,
this.
why would I do
Yeah.
that? Like,
Yeah.
I don't blame them at all.
but I mean, I would love to travel the world and hang out with people that like me.
absolutely.
Sounds like a good gig.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. 100%. For a month's worth of work you did 25 years ago? Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can fly me out. Sure, I'll go wherever. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm out of stuff to talk about episode 1. I know we didn't do a deep dive into the movie, but we've all seen the movie.
We've all
know
seen the
what it
movie.
is,
This,
so-
I'd prefer to
I found
talk
this to be
about
more fun.
this way than
Yeah.
analyzing the plot, which
Yeah.
we don't need to
Boring.
do.
I think what we should do now. Let's do James's pick. James is this was my pick for this episode. James is coming in 2 weeks, and I think we all know what it's going to be because the
It's-
reason
it's-
why I picked this
It's
is
pretty
because
obvious. I mean, we're
getting
still
close
we're
to Obi-Wan. So
we're still building up to Obi-Wan. So yeah, the only prequel that we haven't done yet, we are going to be covering Revenge of the Sith in 2 weeks' time.
Oh.
Shortly
excited.
before that'll be 2.5 weeks before Obi-Wan. That'll be our last main episode before Obi-Wan.
Mhm.
So
Have you guys
we
done
haven't
the
done
Richard-
a sequel movie yet, but we've done the entire prequel trilogy.
Have you done the Richard Pryor sketch
no,
where he goes to the cantina? Put that on the dang list.
Putting it on the
I'll
list
put it on
right
the
now.
list. There you go. If you want to talk about it, come back anytime. We can figure out a good time to
Happily.
do that.
Happily.
Okay.
Happily.
Is it something that we can watch live? Do you think it'll
Probably.
get pulled?
I think so. I think it's on YouTube. I think it'll be fine.
That'll be fun. Speaking of watching live, me and James are going to be watching this Obi-Wan trailer for the first time. Patrick has seen it already. But before we do that, because I'm afraid we're going to get booted if we do this, Patrick, you got to do plugs.
Got to do plugs. Well,
Yes,
I mean, listen, if
gotta.
you're watching this live right now,
I
tonight,
am.
May the 4th, 2022, we are doing the first annual George Lucas Talk Show Star Wars Day Describe-a-thon, where we will be describing what happens in all of the Star Wars movies. It's going to be a fundraiser for the Grand Imara Steam Foundation. Grant worked
Oh.
for ILM and on Mythbusters
Mhm.
and passed away. And now there's a foundation that helps raise money for kids doing robotics clubs in like high school and want to pursue that professionally. So it helps them with
Awesome course. Yeah.
it helps them with scholarships and internships and getting them into schools and stuff like that. It's a very good thing. I want to raise at least 15 grand. I think we can do it. It's tonight on planetscum.live. It's a Twitch channel. It's gonna be very fun. We might have some guests stop by. Who knows? But it'll be good. And then what else? We are doing shows coming up in Los Angeles on June 3rd. I think it's that Friday. You can buy tickets for in person for the late show. Early show sold out, or streaming.
I'll be there
Ralph's going to be there.
for both.
You can stream it from anywhere in the world, so you can do that. It's going to be very fun. We got some cool guests. We're also coming to Philly. We're going to Detroit. We're going to
Atlanta.
Atlanta. A lot of places. But if you check out my Twitter at Patrick Cotnoir, PatrickCotnoir, we'll be announcing all that stuff then. So head on over to there. It'll be fun.
Cool.
Good show.
I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that show tonight.
Great.
Oh wait, it's Masked Singer night. I might be done.
Are they
the last 2
rerunning
weeks
the
have
Giuliani
fucking
episode?
sucked. Dude, that was the worst TV I've ever watched. It was so uncomfortable.
Stop
It's
watching
so
it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
You
then-
don't have to watch it, Ralph.
You don't have to.
No, I might skip it tonight for George Lucas because
Good show.
last week I'm like, okay, Giuliani's gone.
Yeah.
It's over with.
Yeah.
Last week was Kirstie Alley.
Oh.
I'm like, I love summer school, but what the fuck are you guys doing?
Just problematic people
I
season.
think this is telling you a lot about their booker. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
interesting.
Hey, Vic, go back to work. I know you finished by now.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm watching that tonight.
Yeah. Stop by. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. I'll be in the chat.
Great.
Clap, clap, clap.
Clap, clap, clap.
So liveactionstarwars.com, all that shit, follow us at liveactionsw and all this stuff.
Mhm.
I as soon as I
We're
drop
really
this into
bad
the
at
chat,
plugging our own stuff.
I mean, I had the banner that tells you everything.
There we go.
And I think those yellow dots, I don't know if those pop up on YouTube. I think they're just little rectangles. Like, I
Great.
don't know.
Great.
That's all
Even
the shit
better.
you need to know. That's
Yeah.
all you need to know. Okay, that's it. We're gonna watch Star Wars. Me and James are gonna watch a Star Wars thing for the first time. It'll start as soon as I drop it into the thing. So oh yeah.
Mhm.
So my friend Jorge Garcia was unmasked, didn't know about it, freaked the fuck out.
Mhm.
Because when you're watching The Masked Singer, it could be anybody in the world. You're like, what celebrity is this going to be? You don't expect them to take the head off and, oh, it's your friend.
That's
It's your friend.
Yeah.
It's your
Didn't-
really good friend that you.
Didn't you kind of get an offhand mention in that as well?
Yeah, one of the clues was podcast, and we had a podcast for 4 years. So weird. That was the high point, and then since then it's kind of, and I feel bad for him because I mean now he's in this season.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
his fault. He didn't know.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't know.
No, he didn't know.
A couple people he knows were also in the same competition, and he did not know until
Yeah.
they were on TV.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna
They
add this
should
to
do.
stream.
They should do one season where it's just the entire cast of Lost, and they just slowly unmask them.
And don't tell him.
By the end of it, when like Maggie
So
Grace
mean.
is there, they're just
Yeah.
like, I guess
So
it's Maggie
mean.
Grace. Like, sure.
Keeny?
Sorry.
You got Keeny?
Ooh,
Zoe Bell just drops in from the ceiling.
Billy D. Williams? That barely counts.
oh, razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
Okay, I'm gonna drop this. It's gonna be a very abrupt start, so I'm gonna pause it and then go back to the beginning. So okay, chill out, trailer. Look at Jar Jar smiling. Ooh, look at Qui-Gon's eyes.
So dreamy.
I wish that was the
Not too
tagline
He
for that
saved
movie.
Maggie Grace once.
Hang on, if that was the tagline for episode 1, Star Wars episode 1, The Phantom Menace, look at Jar Jar smiling, look at Qui-Gon's eyes.
That's the new, like,
If we're gonna do this,
that's the new, it's a boy, a girl, and a galaxy. Okay. All right. So hopefully you're all going to be able to watch this with us for the first time. If not, celebrate the love.
yeah. Don't give it to hate.
Yeah.
The other way around.
And here we go.
Free
Okay.
post.
I don't think I'm going to get all reaction-y video on it by going, oh my God. I am going to warn you. Oh, and then one thing before we go to Adam. Sent us packages to open today.
Yeah.
For no particular reason. He just thought today was a good day to open up the packages. Mine
hasn't.
James
arrived
hasn't arrived yet, so we'll probably do that on Star Wars Day, which is May 25th.
Yep.
And so we'll probably save it for that.
Yep.
But we'll see. If you have it, whenever we get it, we'll have a data link episode next week. I forget what we're talking about.
We're going to be opening them live on the show, though.
Yeah. So okay,
I know
I'm gonna
what
hit
to
play on this
expect
thing.
package-wise now, which is helpful.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, hopefully you're able to watch this with us. Here we go.
They're coming. Stay hidden, or we will not survive.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father? You still want Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze him. You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
They want every bounty hunter to squeeze him? Is that what I heard? That's fine.
There's one line, I think it's Joel Edgerton saying it. I think he says, you want Obi-Wan, or you want Kenobi, he's gone, or something like that. But it sounds like he says Mr. Wan Kenobi, and I like the idea of people calling him Mr. Wan Kenobi.
Well, like I'm not a fan of everyone shouting Obi-Wan, because this is like, it's meant to be a name that he's not heard in a long time.
A long time.
It's like, call him Kenobi, fine, but
Yeah.
just drop the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it's cleaner.
Yeah,
It looks like we're still live.
we are still alive.
I like
This
the
is where we
first
just get
line
pulled
is
from YouTube.
I like the first line is they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
So this should be pretty sexy show. What the
This is now the live action After Dark, isn't it?
like I think the only thing really that I was like,
I did see a face. You made a face at one point.
I was super. Well, they said they're gonna squeeze him. No, but I am very excited. The dynamic. We've seen one side of the story as far as the relationship between Obi-Wan and Uncle Owen, and it's his side of the story. So to see that conversation got me excited. To see them talking about training the kid. I find that more exciting than all the flipping Inquisitor stuff.
That's the thing I'm the most excited for in the show, is that kind of stuff.
The dynamic between the two of them, definitely. I, though you say that, I did quite like 1994 Seattle Zabrak. Like the grunge, like baggy jumper.
Seattle Zabrak's a great Star Wars name.
Seattle Zabrak is a pretty great.
That's a great name.
What do you? What is
It's
that?
it's in the alleyway after the bounty.
Oh, yeah.
They look like they're in like a storage container
It's
area.
gonna be just after this somewhere.
Yeah.
There we
that.
go.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
in like
it's a little bit more checkered. I thought it was just stripy, but
It
yeah,
loo-
it's just a baggy jumper. It's weird.
It looks like what's the
See,
building
the
where you
camera
like get a like a storage locker? Like,
Oh yeah.
It looks like a storage locker building that they're in. They're in like a U-Haul building or something.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
kind of cool
crossover
though.
with
If they have like a
Moonlight.
little like
Force
locker
storage
box.
locker?
Do you think that Cad Bane's going to be one of the bounty hunters?
I mean, they did just introduce him again. There is a shot that is for Lam in there. For LOL.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Was it around that time?
I think so. It's on the roof. No, that's not it. It's like on a roof. I think it's before it.
Yeah, we don't have
The-
to go through the whole thing.
Yeah, the fighting at the Inquisitor's place is interesting because I thought that would
It's
be
that.
just like,
It's
oh
that.
yeah, that is full on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Do we get Zuckus as well?
I don't know. I feel like you gotta have Zuckuss if you get
Yeah,
full on.
Yeah, the two go together.
You gotta.
That's the thing is everybody assumes they're together. Is that something in the books?
Yeah.
Like they're a team?
Yeah,
like they're a
I think
duo?
they've always been teamed up.
That's cool. I'm excited for it, but mostly just anything that ties
New Star Wars.
into Star Wars 1977 I'm more excited for.
Yeah.
Because it's all stuff that I always wanted to see, like the Mustafar stuff.
Sure.
Yeah,
I always wanted to see that. I heard about it from books, and I just wanted to see that. So
It's-
mostly, I just want to see this, the Uncle Owen stuff.
See, that's why
mostly.
I was so excited because I love when Grand Moff Tarkin talks about Rats Tyrell. So I was like really excited when they finally brought him.
he's
into
talking about his favorite races.
He was like,
yeah.
"Oh, his wife just got out of the hospital. She had more kids."
We didn't bring it up on the show when we should have when we were talking about the pod race. So
Show's
the pod race
developed.
is the Boonta Eve Classic.
Mm-hmm.
What is Boonta Day? Do you think
Great
it's a
question.
celebrated holiday or is like what is Boonta? Like
there's probably a whole entry in Wikipedia.
Here we go.
About what
Boonta
Boonta is.
Eve.
Isn't it like the celebration of the Hutts coming to Tatooine or something?
Okay, Boonta Eve is an annual holiday and festival celebrated on the desert planet of Tatooine during the last decades of the Old Republic. It honored the rise of, here we go, Boonta Hestijik Shardu to godhood.
Oh yeah,
oh that guy.
them.
Oh, they have hang on. Boonta has it is a Hutt who ascended to godhood.
Wow.
Oh man,
So this
we
is
get
like
Boonta
ancient
somewhere?
Egypt, like
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want
Cool.
to see a Boonta deity.
But it's interesting that it's like it seems like it's more like Mexico where Christmas Eve is celebrated more than Christmas Day.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool. I like it when they take a holiday and celebrate it on a different day most of the time.
Wonder where
Um,
George got that name Boonta from.
I don't know.
Back for
It
cereal box.
sounded
yeah.
George's great.
Where
That's
did George-
Tyrell.
If you start asking where George got names from, we're gonna be here for a while.
Tyrell.
That's Tyrell.
Tyrell something though. Isn't that
Yeah,
in like
It's in
that's
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Yeah, the Tyrell.
yeah, that's
Corp.
what I thought. That's what I
Yeah.
thought. So I bet that's it.
Yeah, that the name I think is
There's also a House Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
yeah. Everyone loves Blade Runner.
Everybody love
Everyone
rats.
does love Blade Runner.
Yeah,
I love Blade Runner. I love it.
Blade Runner.
I like
I
Blade
like-
Runner 2049.
I like them.
I like
both,
that too.
But yeah, they're both great.
They're all
This
great.
was a Star Wars podcast.
All right. I think we've taken up enough of Patrick's time. He's got a day of podcasting ahead of him. For some
Yeah, you
reason.
got
True.
a long old stretch. To
And I
go.
gotta work. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, if you need me on one of those on bananas or something, I'm fully available. I'm sure they would
Great.
love to have me on.
Bananas. We love bananas. Guys, go listen to Bananas. Bananas is good.
Yeah. Me and Stevie decided to go to Denver for a weekend because Kurt Braunholer was doing his stand-up special.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Good guy.
All right. So yeah, I've nothing else. It's weird because we've already done all the plugs. Patrick, thanks again for joining us. We'll find some time in the future to do the
I love it.
that sketch.
Yeah.
And then
I've not seen it, so it'd be fun that neither of us have seen it.
Yeah.
Come in with all of your expertise.
so all of this stuff. Can I put all these up? Oh no. Just these. These are the
Oh,
important
there, I'm
ones.
working on a new thing about Phantom Menace at the moment, so that will hopefully be up in the next week or so.
I'll also say during this show, it did get announced that Planet Scum is shutting down. So tonight will be the last show on Planet Scum. We will have a new home. So keep an eye out.
Did
So
you
go
know?
there
Did you
to
know this
find
ahead
the
of time
new
though?
home.
Yeah,
Okay. Can you? Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
What a weird note to end on.
Yep. Sorry.
So anybody watching this tomorrow,
Go to our
obsolete.
YouTube. Go to our YouTube.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Data Link episode next week, and Revenge of the Sith in 2 weeks' time. But until then, thank you, Minta Hate.
And celebrate the love.
Punch it.